Hey guys, Lisa Dameron from Remax Perrett. When you purchase a home in our area, and frankly anywhere in Michigan, you have a right to ask the seller for a certain amount of time to get a home inspection. Um, Frankly, that period of time is to do investigations, and it can be more than just a home inspection, but one of those investigations is a home inspection. And usually you're given about 10 days to get that done, but that number is negotiable. And that home inspection can go a long way toward preparing a buyer for homeownership, but also protecting them from purchasing a home that has defects that they can't see just by looking at the house. The problem, though, is that we find that there are some common misconceptions about home inspections that buyers don't understand. And understanding those misconceptions and the truth about them can go a long way towards alleviating a lot of frustration during the buying process, and frankly, even more after the home is purchased. And one of the first misconception is that people think that every possible defect will be detected. And the truth of the matter is, a home inspection is really just a snapshot of what the home inspector found on that day. So, for instance, on the day of the home inspection, the inspector inspects the furnace, everything's running great, the heat exchanger looks fine, looks fine, the blower looks fine, and the house closes, buyer accepts the house as is, house closes, and within a month, the blower motor breaks and the furnace needs a new blower motor. Did the inspector miss that? No. At the time of the inspection, it was working. And that kind of thing can happen with all kinds of parts of the home. Sump pump, stove, refrigerator, roof. You can have a roof that shows no evidence of leaking, no water, no missing shingles, and then there's a bad storm and a few shingles are removed or flashing by the chimney blows off and you get water in by the chimney. It's not that the home inspector missed it, it's that it was not a problem on that day. Which leads to the second misconception, which is that the home inspector is looking at every single inch of the property. And that too is not true. A home inspector cannot do what's called a destructive inspection. They can't tear things down or remove things that are affixed to get to all the bones of the house. So in the basement, if there's paneling installed or drywall, they can't pull down that drywall or paneling to see the wall behind. They can't move large furniture to see maybe what's underneath a rug. They can't remove wall-to-wall carpeting to see what the floor looks like underneath. So while the home inspector does inspect everything that they can, they only can inspect what's visible and accessible. So it's not that they've done a poor job, it just limits what they can do. And then the last misconception is that because you paid for a home inspection, then if something goes wrong, well, I'm going to go back on the home inspector for that and they're going to pay for that. And that again is not true. Most home inspection reports at the very beginning, most agreements say that the home inspector is only liable up to the cost of the inspection itself, unless you can prove they were negligent, but that has to be done in court. So if a home inspector truly was negligent, lied about going to the house, never opened the furnace, never did his job, yes, you could try to sue him for not doing a good job, but you'd have to be able to prove that. But if, let's just say, the home inspector missed something, but otherwise did a good job, yes, he might agree to compensate you, but it's only going to be the cost of the home inspection, not the cost of the repair. So, you might ask yourself, how do people not know this? I mean, why are these misconceptions? Why don't people know? And the first suspicious answer would be, well, nobody tells you that stuff because they don't care. The fact of the matter is, a home buying experience is very exciting. You're excited about all the good things that are happening. You're getting ready for a move. You're working on getting your financing. You're waiting for the appraisal. And sometimes you're not listening to every single thing that's being told to you or reading every single document that you get. So it's not always that the buyer wasn't informed. It might be they didn't hear, they didn't listen, they didn't read, they just didn't catch that. There's a lot. And again, I'm not trying to say, well, they don't listen. There's just a lot going on, and maybe you didn't catch that. And unfortunately, there's a chance maybe somebody didn't tell you, and I'd hate to have that be the case, but I can't lie and say that might have been the issue as well. So how should a home buyer protect themselves and avoid these issues? Well, first of all, knowing these things, having these realistic expectations about what a home inspection is and what it isn't, that's very helpful. The second thing is pick your contractors carefully, choose your realtor carefully, choose your home inspector carefully. And I've always found the best way to do that is ask someone that you know, like and trust, who they've used that did a good job for them. And even then, be careful. Did they like them and had fun, or did they do a good job? Same thing with online reviews, asking Google, asking AI. A lot of reviews is great. A lot of good reviews is terrific, but pay attention to those reviews. If they just were really nice and we really had a lot of fun, that doesn't necessarily mean they did a terrific job. If you're looking at reviews, you want to see things like they really educated me in the process. They took the time to explain things to me. They made sure I understood the limitations, those types of things. So choose your contractors carefully. The second thing is read your inspection report. You get a long report after that inspection. Read it carefully. Highlight the things you have questions about. Ask those questions. And when you get answers, ask more. And don't quit until you feel comfortable that you understand what the issue is and what needs to be done about it. And then lastly, plan for home ownership. Plan that something's going to go wrong, or I shouldn't say is going to, but could go wrong. Look at your inspection report and look where the inspector noted that something looks good now, but it's getting older, or it might need this in the future or that in the future, and start setting aside money for those contingent repairs. So if you're looking at buying anytime soon, I hope that this helps you be better prepared and know what to expect. I've written a long blog post about this that I will attach a link in the description to that blog post that's much more detailed, less kind of conversational than this, and happy to answer your questions at any time.